This is a reaction video to the latest topics on the YouTube. And I'm your host, P&F, the chief CEO and everything they got to do with leadership in this channel. Anyway, this is a reaction video because the brother Tariq Nasheed is at it again, man. Old brother Tariq, man. Let's get the equipment straight right quick, so I won't have to be moving around because this gonna take a little minute. Let me get the equipment straight. But brother Tariq is shacking the fool again, and I'm about to expose it. And we're gonna go over Pan-African Strike Back. I got your name in the title. You know what it is, big homie. You know what it is. Pan-African Strike Back, you already know what it is. You don't want no smoke. I done been on your show and commented, and you didn't block me for nothing, man. All because I exposed your African dreams, man. So I'm going to have to play the young video first before y'all even know what I'm reacting to. So go on and enjoy the video. Let me share it right quick. Let me go on and share it right quick. Shout out to Allah Divine Dog, Lord Damian Wire. Always, showing support as I build up my new little channel. This going to be popping one day. I'm not even tripping. It's going to be popping because we get rid of these suckers one by one. So let us go and let brother Tariq go ahead and run his mouth right quick. And we're going to see what I'm reacting to.
We, as foundational Black Americans, many of us do have so-called Indian or Aboriginal bloodlines. Of course we do. We've been here longer than anybody. But once we were enslaved, reclassified as Negro, a lot of those Indian traditions were erased, just like when we had some of our brothers and sisters come over from Africa, many of those African identities were erased. And we still have DNA memory and ancestral memory and all that stuff, but still that goes in to create something totally new. Just like with the Portuguese and the Brazilians. Now, Brazilians are not looked at as Portuguese. They're completely different. They have a different culture from the Aboriginal people down there and the African people brought in and the Portuguese who they mixed in with. They became a whole new ethnic group with a whole different culture. That's brand new. We are the same. We are a nationality, which is foundational Black Americans. That is a nationality. It's tied to land and culture. Foundational Black, that is the culture, and the land is America. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a nationality. We have a lot of our more science brothers, and shout out to them, and I give some of them respect where respect is due for a lot of great knowledge many of them bring. Many of them bring a lot of knowledge. But the whole thing where we're supposed to identify as Moroccans, no. No. For a couple of reasons. Do we have any of our more brothers in here? Yeah, I like to explain it where it makes sense. Do we have any of our Moroccan brothers? Because sometimes we'll have some guys trolling who come in the room. Man, what is this black, Negro, black, and colored? That's the Noble Drew Ali stuff. And shout out to Noble Drew Ali. He had good information. But we are not colored. We are not Negro, black, and colored. We are Moors. And Moor means black. And that ties us to Morocco. Well, damn it, we can't go to Morocco. We're not citizens of Morocco. They don't let us go to Morocco and get any kind of dual citizenship. Let's get off that. Let's be real. Let's get real here. Let's not just talk some bullshit. We can't go to Morocco and get dual citizenship. And Morocco is not the power it was during the 1700s. And look, Jose Pimenta Bay, I love that brother's stuff. Excellent stuff. But there's some things that I just emphatically disagree with based on the practicality of it. Yeah? Because what happens is, Morocco, they got a lot of anti-black racism up there now. You got black folks show up to Morocco and get their ass whooped right now. Then you got black folks going through Morocco from West Africa, getting the brakes beat off of them in Morocco right now. All right? They are not kind to black people. They're killing black people right now. I'm not claiming no Morocco. And the Moroccan Empire is different, now. The Moroccan Empire at one point, it went down and deep into West Africa. It went all deep into the Middle East. The Moroccan Empire at one point was a thorough empire. You had some prominent black people in it at one time. It is not like that no more. Yeah? That Morocco thing ain't working, family. Let's keep it above. And the only reason it worked in the 1700s was because the Moroccans were controlling the seas over there to a certain degree. They were pirates. The Middle East and the sea over there in the Mediterranean Sea, that was the super mall at the time. That was a very hot spot for trading. If you can get over there and trade, that's where the money was. And you had the Moors over there guarding the seas, and they were taxing people for bringing their ships over there. All right. And what happened was the Moors of Morocco at the time had a deal with Britain, and they had this deal where they would let British ships go through. They would have to pay a little money here. They wouldn't mess with the British slave ships. And then they made the same deal with the United States. Yeah, they made the deal with the United States. Hey, look, we'll recognize you as a new country. If you come over here into Morocco or you try to trade in the Mediterranean, we're not going to kidnap you guys. Also, one of the stipulations was, if you capture one of us, because if you bring slave ships, and this is what I don't like, and this is why I can't co-sign the whole Moroccan Fez thing. Part of that treaty that they have, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, part of the treaty was that the Moors or the Moroccans knew about them coming over there, getting black people and enslaving them in Africa. They knew about it. And part of the deal was, hey, if you want to go enslave some of these black folks over here, we ain't gonna mess with your slave ships. But if you make a mistake and enslave somebody who's a part of the Moorish Empire or the Moroccan Empire, you gotta let them go. That was part of the deal. They didn't have a problem with them enslaving people, but just don't get nobody from the Moroccan Empire. That's why there were cases here in the US of black people who were actually Moors, and they were actually free. But here's the thing. A white person had to come co-sign, because most people didn't know that if they captured you and they brought you over here, and you're like, hey man, I'm a Moorish king. All right, well, get your ass over here in this cotton field, king. But no, I'm really a king over in Africa. So that became a running joke with white supremacists. Even now, today, the whole Kang, we was Kangs, that's a running joke with white supremacists today. Because they were getting Moorish royalty. And there was a case, I think, in New Orleans where there was a brother who came from a royal family who was part of the Moroccan Empire. They enslaved him and they sold him somewhere in Louisiana. He was in town selling fruit on Sunday. They would let them go in town and sell fruit. A white man from Britain who knew him when he was younger, his family saved this white man, and this white man recognized him. And his white man was like, hey, what are you doing here? Like, hey man, they enslaved me. And the white man said, hey, no, I can vouch for this guy. This guy comes from, a Moorish family. So then the case became kind of an international thing. and they let him go. But it took years for them to let him go because he had children here, and they wouldn't let his children go. You understand? But that's why they would erase our backgrounds. They would have us over here, and they wouldn't let people know where they were from. They just put you on a plantation, especially as a child. They get a child and just say, hey, well, you ain't got no background. And the kid, well, yeah, I do. I was part of this Black Native American tribe. Oh, no, you weren't. And I'm gonna sell you over here to this plantation in Mississippi, and you're gonna start fresh. Yeah, there's a book called Prince Among Slaves that talks about this. Yeah. But I'm saying that to say this. We got to be careful about identifying with these other groups, because what happens is, going back to that movie Rumble, a lot of these people in the movie are trying to say that a lot of blues and jazz actually comes from Native Americans. And they were comparing some old Native American chants and then comparing it to blues. And then they were pointing out the fact that a lot of Black blues artists did have some Native American ancestry. See, we got to be careful. We got to be careful. Many early Black blues artists did have Native American ancestry. So they were kind of using that to kind of say, well, really, the blues didn't really come from Black folks. It was really from the red Native Americans. That's a lie. Yeah, man, you got to watch them. Yeah, they were trying to say that blues and jazz really came from some damn Native Americans, meaning the red ones and the white ones. Oh, that movie was all cap. It was cap. Yeah, see, we got to watch that now. Don't give your lineage away to anybody. Yeah, don't give your lineage away, because they were kind of pointing out the fact that Jimi Hendrix has Native American ancestry. You know, James Brown has Native American ancestry. But we got to be very clear. Just because somebody has indigenous ancestry, that don't mean that they're still that tribe, because the $5 Indians will try to latch on to that. See, don't give nobody our lineage. All right? We're not giving nobody our lineage. We're not giving nobody our lineage. All of these skills and talents comes from foundational Black American lineage and culture. All right? That's why it is very important for us to understand and to recognize our foundational Black American nationality and culture. Yeah, Chuck Berry had Native American ancestry. Yep. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix is FBA. He's the foundational Black American. And many foundational Black Americans have Aboriginal ancestry. Yeah, so he is foundational Black American. Let's be very clear. Let's be very, very clear. But the movie is called Rumble. A lot of cap in there. But listen, family, a lot of folks, man, they want to latch on to our lineage and try to bust our lineage up when it's convenient, and then differentiate when it's convenient. Going back to that twerking senator, and I'm not going to show her twerking, but I want to show a tweet of hers. Tiara Mack. Now, she's out here copping pleas about all of her twerking. She's trying to double down on it. She's trying to save face with all that damn twerking. And people are calling her out. People are saying, hey, man, that stuff you doing, that ain't got nothing to do with our culture. That ain't got nothing to do with us. And people are calling her out like, hey, man, that's Caribbean culture. That ain't us. And they're like, hey, girl, you Caribbean. Come on now. And this is some of her tweets right here. She was like, because they're getting on her about her Caribbean background. She tried to say, this is, and watch this doublespeak. I'm not Caribbean. Both grandparents born in America. Same with parents. Watch this fully. So that's just an interview. She's trying to get clout from an interview she did about her dumbass twerking. So now remember, this woman was bragging about being Caribbean on her own website. Now, when she was up here running for office, she was bragging about being Afro-Caribbean. She was bragging about it. Now she wants to throw that old funky, crusty booty twerking onto us and put it on our culture. We're saying, no, we don't want it. Now she's trying to say, well, I ain't really Caribbean. No, you were claiming Caribbean. And look how she tried to be slick. Both of my grandparents were born in America. See, that's not saying anything. That doesn't mean you ain't still Caribbean. You see? Watch how they try to, whenever we do Twitter spaces and we call some of these tethers out, they try to pull that same move. When we see, hey, man, you sound like a tether. Where are you from? I'm from Cleveland. No. Where's your family? Where's your parents from? My parents is from Delaware. Okay. Are there immigrants in your family? Well, yeah, my granddad came over here from Jamaica. So if you keep prodding them, you got to prod them to make them come on and fess up. So it's that type of, she thinks she's trying to be slick. Yeah, my grandparents were born here. That's something that tethers say. Either you're FBA or you're not. Nobody says my grandparents were, that means somebody else wasn't born here. All right, that's anchor baby talk.
Let me speak.
All right, that means somebody else wasn't born here. Yeah? Somebody said her grandparents weren't twerking. That's FBA culture. FBA culture, my ass, that ain't our culture. That's something we picked up from them. We don't have, our elected officials don't be twerking and doing all that degenerate stuff. Shout out to these brothers. Let me play that clip. Shout out to these brothers for eating off our plate. This is why, man, we should have been delineating a long time ago. If your parents hustle so hard, why are they here? Why are you not hustling hard in your homeland? There was another clip of some mammies from Haiti too, trying to say the same thing. Shout out to these brothers for checking them though. Now these brothers checked them. Shout out to these brothers. Let me play that clip. Shout out to these brothers for checking these little janky wig mammies. All right? And when these brothers checked them, they went deep into tether babble. Because see, all you got to do is just push back a little bit to check this nonsense. But listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on.
No. I'm sorry. I can't do Americans. I need somebody with culture. I'm sorry.
Black We got the culture. We are the culture. We are the culture. Globally, they know about Black Americans.
No, hold on. We're not
Globally, they know about Black Americans.
You remember 1804, but they're not going to word American. We're not going to use the word American.
Yeah, Black American.
That's fine, but listen, 1804, I'm the reason why I'm
Okay, and let me pause it. Now, let me pause it, because this is another thing that we see a lot of the Haitian tethers do. When you say, hey, what's your culture? Their go-to is always 1804. And let me tell you something. I did the premiere movie about the Haitian Revolution. I produced and directed the movie that's shown all over Haiti about the Haitian Revolution. Great history. very inspirational history. I did the movie about the Haitian Revolution. Let's be very clear. I did the movie about the Haitian Revolution that's shown all over Haiti. That's the premiere movie about the Haitian Revolution. Even in schools over here, whenever it's Haitian Independence Day or whatever, they show my movies. You understand what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. How come none of y'all produced that movie? How come y'all didn't produce that movie? Why was it a non-FBA who produced that movie? If we're gonna go there, let's go there. Why was it a not non-FBA, but an FBA? Why was it an FBA person? I'm not Haitian, and people thought, are you Haitian? No, I just like the history. I like that. I thought that history was gangster. I respect that history. An FBA had to produce that movie. Y'all could have done it. How come you didn't do it? Because you don't really have a lot of respect for the damn history. You don't have respect for your own history. And people started getting pride and respect for that history after the movie came out, really. When the movie came out, that gave you pride for the damn culture. Most people know about the history for real and all the details of it because of a foundational Black American. Did I go there? Yes, I did. Did I go there? Yes, I did. It was the foundational Black American who are educating the people over there about the history on a massive scale. They didn't do it. Nobody did it. Nobody got a couple of $1 million together.
All right, okay, hold on. I don't want him to get preachy. I want to worry about that. I want to stick to that. And early in the video when he mentioned Morocco, right? Right. So we gonna talk about that now. Hold up. I'll even drop the link. Listen, let's just think about it. Please, let's think about it. Listen. The woman ain't saying you ain't really got a culture. We know you have a culture. She's really wanting to say y'all don't have a nationality. Everybody know Black is not a nationality. They're not just in your face saying it because it's like going to be a bomb when it really hit y'all that y'all don't have a nationality. Now we have these emotional guys like Brother Rootwords and Tariq Nasheed. These guys are emotional and feminine. These are feminine men. They are ill in their feelings because we know Black is a culture, but it's a lawless culture. It is not a nationality. They're holding on to it because maybe their mothers are Black or their friends are Black, so they just protecting it. But Black is a system in the U.S. where it's a second-class citizenry, and in the U.S. Constitution, white have jurisdiction over Black. That means no matter what you do, the white citizens always can take your stuff. It's in their documents. We can prove. And you're right, Ruwords. Tupac was feminine. He took up for his mom and them, and you know all that. And you see what that got him. He was into the feminine matriarch. I'm not into all that. I'm into the spirit. I like the spirit better than taking sides with matriarch and patriarch. I'm not taking sides. I'm rocking with the God Almighty, the true spirit, and I love both my parents. I balance it out. Now, y'all are feminine because y'all are just want to fight us because we're telling y'all Black is not a nationality. And they're like, yes, it is. It's Black American. No, you're not American. You are not American. You're not adding nothing to American. Who gave you permission to add stuff to American? You're not adding nothing to America. It is just American. You don't have permission to use American without our permission. That is up there stealing. You're not putting Black with American. It is not going to work like that. It's American, man, with a nationality, not a color. A color that come from somebody else. So you're not attaching a color to American. You're not attaching the color to American. We're just flat foot Americans. And if you want to have some ownership, you have to have some civilization where you have writing and all that. So writing, you're going to put your stamp on that, your national, your national identity. What is your national identity? Is your ownership. You have to have, like, if you have an estate, it's gonna probably have your last name or something. And all of them might form into a state or a town then a state, and you might become a nation. It might become major where you so international that you got children on the other side. So now you have to sit up there and do embassies and stuff. It got to get real legal when you got other territories you living in with your people. Like Indians from India, when they come live over here, they got to document. They can't just over here be looking like us. So they got to separate themselves by saying Indian American or Hindu American. They got them names. So your name is magically black. That's where y'all going. But we are okay with that. But what we are saying is, okay, they named y'all black. This is where we got y'all at. Because they named you black, and that is the name they gave to slaves. Slaves in 1779 to 1865, they gave slaves the name black. So you didn't even come up with the name black. So you're trying to trick us into accepting something that was given to you. See, Tariq Nasheed cannot debate me. Now we're going to go back into the video before I expose. The woman is not insulting y'all, the Haitian woman. She's not insulting y'all, but we know you don't have a nationality. So I don't think this was an insult. Nah, but you see, you didn't peep when he said Americans ain't got culture. See, now he want to be American. Let's go back. Now he want to be American all of a sudden. You're just black, buddy. You're a black. Now you want to put yourself in all the Americans. See, Americans is mixed. We ain't just black. We a bunch of people. We're a bunch of people. We ain't just black. So you ain't just gonna black up American. Now, foundational Black American, the first blacks in America, they got their own culture, and they can be their own culture. We're not mad at that. But let's go back. I want to just rewind it. Now he's American. Now that they say he ain't got no culture, let's go back.
You got to do is just push back a little bit to check this nonsense. But listen to this. Listen to this. Hold on. No.
Dang,
I'm sorry. I can't do Americans. I need somebody with culture. I'm sorry.
Black got culture. We got the culture. We are the culture.
See, now he's American. His buddy said Black Americans. Then he said Americans. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm not a tether brother. I am not a tether brother, but I am against Tariq Nasheed. I am against the black. I believe we can do this without being black. I don't believe we are supposed to mix with Europeans and let these tethers do what they want to do around here. But y'all want to stay black for too long, and it's too suspicious. It's too suspicious on why y'all want to stay black when we are the Americans. We have already proved our American language. We've already proved it. Okay, hold on. I don't know how I didn't get up out of there, but I know it's called Krenak, the language. But anyway, we have discovered our American roots, and we know they are mongrelizing it, turning it into mongrels, right? I know that we are from here. I know America is a continent, but it's also a concept. It is a concept by a group of people. It had many names, and it is America because it is civilized. That is a civilization name. That is a name for civilized people who can read and write, brother. Now, black is a culture of people that derived out of slavery. They did not get here as blacks. The only way you got here through blacks is, I got them up here. Y'all leader, one of y'all leaders I had up here. It might be some. I swear, boy, I just had him too. He been up here the last few days. I might have erased it. One of y'all leaders from over there in Europe. Named something. I just lost it though, man. I hope I find the story of this Welsh dude. What was it called? It was called something Walicia. It might have been Walicia. I'm gonna go look in the memory. But yeah, I'm gonna drop the link. If folks want to come up, hey, cool, man. You know, but yeah, listen to this for a few minutes, man, and y'all get caught up.
Other culture. Globally, they know about Black Americans.
Hold on.
Globally, they know about Black Americans.
You gotta remember 1804, they not going to word American. We're not going to use the word American.
Yeah, Black Americans.
That's fine, but listen, 1804, I'm the reason why
Okay, let me pause it. Let me pause it, because this is another thing that we see a lot of the Haitian tethers do. When you say, hey, what's your culture? Their go-to is always 1804. And let me tell you something. I did the premiere movie about the Haitian Revolution. I produced and directed the movie that's shown all over Haiti about the Haitian Revolution. Great history. Very inspirational history. I did the movie about the Haitian Revolution. Let's be very clear. I did the movie about the Haitian Revolution that's shown all over Haiti. That's the premiere movie about the Haitian Revolution. Even in schools over here, whenever it's Haitian Independence Day or whatever, they show my movies. You understand what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. How come none of y'all produced that movie? How come y'all didn't produce that movie? Why was it a non-FBA who produced that movie? If we're gonna go there, let's go there. Why was it a not non-FBA, but an FBA? Why was it an FBA person? I'm not Haitian, and people thought, are you Haitian? No, I just like the history. I like that. I thought that history was gangster.
See, you calling me a tether lover, and he up here making tether movies. Your leader, Tariq Nasheed, is making tether movies, brother. So let's go back to the beginning of what I really wanted to hear again.
If you kind of mix the words up. So Navajo isn't there real along a certain area. Some of the Spanish came along.
Man, YouTube is really not rocking no more, man. I wonder if you get premium, do this go away? It's like, wow, you can't even rewind it without it doing all this skipping.
Told Black folks got kicked out of those tribes.
Let me see.
stuff, but still, that goes into create something totally new. Just like with the Portuguese and the Brazilians. Now, Brazilians are not looked at as Portuguese. They're completely different. They have a different culture from the Aboriginal people down there and the African people brought in and the Portuguese who they mixed in with. They became a whole new ethnic group with a whole different culture. That's brand new. We are the same. We are a nationality, which is foundational Black Americans. That is a nationality. It's tied to land and culture. Foundational Black, that is the culture, and the land is America. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a nationality. We have a lot of our more science brothers, and shout out to them, and I give some of them respect where respect is due for a lot of great knowledge many of them bring. Many of them bring a lot of knowledge. But the whole thing where we're supposed to identify as Moroccans, no. No. For a couple of reasons. Do we have any of our more brothers in here? Yeah, I like to explain it where it makes sense. Where do we have any of our Moroccan brothers? Because sometimes we'll have some guys trolling who come in the room. Man, what is this black, Negro, black, and colored? You know, that's the Noble Drew Ali stuff. And shout out to Noble Drew Ali. He had good information. But we are not colored. We are not Negro, black, and colored. We are Moors, and Moor means black. And that ties us to Morocco. Well, damn it, we can't go to Morocco. We're not citizens of Morocco. They don't let us go to Morocco and get any kind of dual citizenship. Let's get off that. Let's be real. Let's get real here. Let's not just talk some bullshit. We can't go to Morocco and get dual citizenship. And Morocco is not the power it was during the 1700s. And look, Jose Pimenta Bay, I love that brother's stuff. Excellent stuff. But there's some things that I just emphatically disagree with based on the practicality of it. Yeah. Because what happened?
All right, I'm not finna play all of it, man. Oh yeah, there you go, right there.
Is Morocco, they got a.
So he basically go on to say that we not descendants of Moroccans. Noble Drew Ali is cool. And he found every excuse to still be black because it's a new culture of mixed people, of black explorers, black slaves, and just black aboriginals. So he that's colonization, my people. He is the colonist. They're admitting to be the colonists. So there's some explorers who came over here and just got to mixing with whoever they wanted to mix with. Whoever they wanted to mix with, they mixed with and created their own little. That is invasion. I see why they say black people are not indigenous. That ain't nothing but an invasion. He want reparations, and he's saying he aboriginal because some people we don't rock with mixed with him. Who is these explorers? Who is these people that came over here with a plan to colonize and mix in and spawn themselves in America? Now, he's saying we ain't Moroccans. Cool, I understand all that. But when we use my research, there is Moroccans in America. There is Moroccans, and American language is based off Moroccans. So who is he talking about? Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can pull it up right here. Let me see. Krenak might come up right here. Krenak can. Oh, Krenak. Okay, so right here we have the Morocco so-called extinct language, but it's not extinct because it's connected to the Murray language, and Murray language is not extinct. They even use Latin script. So Moroccan is a possibility of an indigenous American people. And he don't speak for us. So blacks are not our people. They are just a group of mixed up people who is just out here politicking, man. It's a status given to slaves. Black is a name given to slaves. It is not some independent people. Black name given to slaves. Slave name. Mostly to African Americans and West Indians. So a lot of them people got hit upside the slaves, the side of the head, no matter if they was from here or not from here, giving these names. Now, black is a status in the U.S. Constitution and a legalities in Christian codes. So it's clear on what a black is, and it's letting you know in their Constitution, in the 14th Amendment, Section 4, they don't owe slaves nothing. So I'm about to drop the bomb on Tariq Nasheed head, and then we going in the Pan-African Strike Back. Check it out. I hope and pray that, you know, somebody worthwhile see this video. The 14th Amendment, Section 4. Shout out to the brother executive sections who blessed me with this. Okay, Section 4, public debt. Because we understand the U.S. is a public organization. The validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payment and pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrections or rebellion, shall not be questioned. The validity of the public debt. So all of the debt that they accumulate to handle bounties and suppressing insurrections or rebellion should not be questioned. This is in their amendment. So they will spend X amount of dollars even accumulating debt to do what they please. But neither the United States nor any state shall assume or pay any debt or obligation incurred in aid of insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. So anybody who aided against or insurrected the U.S. ain't got nothing coming. If you was a part of any organization that went against the United States, they don't owe you nothing. Or any claim for loss or emancipation of any slave, but all such debts, obligations, and claims shall be held illegal and void. So if anybody even process a claim for a slave, it's illegal. It is against the law. That's why I hope and pray you see this video, and I challenge Tariq Nasheed to a debate. I challenge any reparations person to a debate. Anybody that's for reparations in that sense. Now, I support reparations and bringing reparations offenders to justice. Trust me, we lead the fight spiritually. But we know legally there's nothing you can do but take your stuff back. That's all you can do. And if you got something coming, I say sue first. Take them to court if you got proof. Do it civilly. If somebody just flat foot squatted on your land, I think you should sit up there and sue and prove it. But if you're just running around here talking about I'm black and I say so, you owe me, you're going down. Their whole law is no talking, is no voting. Is no vote that's going to get you, because they're not going to change the Constitution, not even for gun rights. So they ain't going to change it for this bill right here. I mean, for this amendment. It is against the law. All debts and claims of any slave is illegal. So if you was once a slave, you're done. That's why we tell y'all to switch it up to nationality, because they owe nations. They don't owe slaves. Like they owe debt to a lot of nations. They even owe debt to China. They don't owe no debt to no slave. Tariq Nasheed is pimping y'all, man. He's pimping y'all, and that's why I just TKO'd him. Now, Brandon Tucker of Pan-African Strike Back. Let's get a visual on this guy, because I got to end the video soon. Pan-African Strike Back. Watch how I destroy him ASAP. You're boring. Okay, so he has a whole post on his community. He's a weirdo. You know, he's piggybacking off everybody, just putting their names up here, promoting some false sense of Pan-Africanism when Africans don't even rock with these dudes. either way it go, they might not be our preference because all of us ain't the same. They think because the United States white people view all black people the same, that we supposed to feel some type of way just because white people don't accept them. We don't accept white people. We don't care about them. So just because they don't like you, you can't pull us all into your nonsense. So Marcel Dixon is LGBTQ. Tariq Nasheed is pushing him everywhere. It's obvious why they want to be black, because black is protected by the Constitution. It is a second-class citizen. They accept getting slapped up the head with taxes, charged through inflation. They don't care as long as they get to be LGBT. We've already been through that. Now, this brother Brandon, he claims to be from Africa and that his surname is Tucker. His name is Brandon Tucker. He even got his DNA results, and he's also Brandon Blandon. But he don't know that I do my research. My brother or cousin, whatever you is. If your name is directly connected to Africa, that means, okay, you're the slave master, stupid, because the simple fact that everybody got new names. They took away your African name. If you able to trace your African name back, which is Tucker, you're saying that it's Fulani or Belanda. Dude, you didn't get your name changed because you're part of the Africans that help sell out. That's why you look funny. You don't look like a typical black African. You look like a mixed African. You're a brown person who look more Indian and Asian than you do African. Marcel Dixon looked way more African and black than you. You don't even look black. So let's keep going. I just want to show his proof so he can never get out of this. You can't admit the guy looks weird, man. He does not look like an African. He looks like an Asian. All right, let's keep going. It's going to pop up. I know it. Your little proof. It's some months ago, but I got to get it for the people. Mr. Black African. See, this is why I started getting on his head, because he got to making fun of the people. He got to playing around with the MSTFA, and you know I had to leave a comment, see if he erased it. Why would you disrespect? Why would you play disrespect with a religious organization? Right? So, you know, I questioned the dude. So, you know, simple little questions. Let's go back. You know, you don't play with Jews like that. Why you want to play with the Moorish American Muslim? Because once you see the feds, you're not just dealing with a Moor. Once you see this cap right here, you're dealing with a Muslim. You're not just dealing with anybody. It's religious implication. You guys don't run around here playing with Jews like that because you know they'll take your video down. Why play with us? Right? Dang, brother, root words, man. Told you were sorry. See, root words been everywhere. See, root words, you're not, that's what I say about you, you street Muslim. I mean, you street Moors. Once you see the fez and the turban, that's the religious side of being Moorish American. That's the religious side. That's all I asked the brother. Why is he playing with this? And now we have this root words, brother. He up in here supporting this African stuff. So he's saying I'm a sorry Muslim just because I stated facts. Once you see the fez and tassel, we dealing with Muslim. We're not just dealing with a Moor. Like he's just a Moor, a black and all that stuff. So I'm like here checking this African dude. You're an African. Now, this is how I destroy you, because on your paperwork, right, let me go and find it. I'm going to get it. It ain't going to take me long at all. On your paperwork, you prove you're an African. Okay, how is that your family was able to keep your name when you said you came from slaves? Now, Tariq Nasheed, he cleans it up because He said he mixed in with the Aboriginals and the explorers. So he don't just got only slave blood. He got a percentage of slave blood that mixed in, and he even said Aborigine. Now you are just a black African because you was not mixed with no Aboriginals. You're saying Aboriginals is lying. They're not from, they're all from Africa. They're slaves. So I'm easily debunking you because how is your name traced back to your DNA, which is stupid, don't even make no sense. You did a blood DNA test, but then you talking about genealogy. Now you're worried about genealogy. Well, if you're going to take the genealogy, the certificate of ancestry, okay, you're genetic ancestry. You don't make no sense. This is how slow you is. If this is a blood test or it's genealogy, right? So is this genealogy? Okay, this is Rick Kittles. So Rick Kittles is DNA. Now it's up in here. Let's go and get the argument. I know it's in here. Let's see how slow this guy is. Watch this. You are from Fula and Balanta, but your last name is Tucker. Why don't you change your name to Fula or Balanta? This is how a lot of you are illiterate, and this is about to go over y'all head. This is why a lot of y'all don't understand my videos. Watch how this go over y'all head. Seems like you are committing fraud, or maybe you are just in denial of your Tucker bloodline. Look at his response. Tucker is a Balanta name. That's career over with, but people are so slow they don't comprehend. Hold on. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen. You are Fula, you are Balanta. Why is his name Tucker? See, he was clever, but he didn't know I was more clever. If you are Fula or Balanta, your name should be, hold on. Your name should be Fula or Balanta. It should not be no other name if that is your ancestry. Tell me I'm lying. Your name should be Balanta or Fula. It should not be nothing else if they're tracing your genealogy. If they trace your blood, you have so many relatives, you would only just have them. You got way more than just some African. That's how much your bloodline go back. Now, if Tucker is Balanta, how did you keep this name through so many generations if you are not the African conquistadors? Because the African slaves was not allowed to keep their name from fear of them claiming inheritance. If you want to make somebody a slave, you got to change their name because they can claim an inheritance and prove they're not slaves. This is all a scam. And shout out to everybody who was able to comprehend what I just exposed. You're not a Pan-African because if you, brother Brandon, if you connecting Tucker, he clearly said right here, Tucker is a Balanta name. Fula and Balanta people living in Guinea. He did a blood test. As you can see, the DNA blood test. This is not a genealogy of records. This is a blood test. So he connected himself with Fula and Balanta. I asked him, I said, why don't you change your name to Fula and Balanta? Because that's the name of your tribes. Why would you have any other last name? So he just basically said Tucker is a Balanta name. There's no way you are African slaves and you can keep your name unless you are slave master. Can anybody in here debunk that? No, you can't. And that's what makes anybody who goes against this childish. You're a child, and this realm of intelligence is not for you. Research administration is not for you. I have the data, I administer it. It is the remedy. It is the remedy to your need for an answer. Right? Now, Tariq Nasheed mentioned more means black. There's no way for any of you people to escape, man. That's why you're running. Now, more means black, right? And we're not Moroccans because we don't descend from Moroccans over there. Duh. We descend from Moroccans over here, buddy. And just like you want to be black, leave us alone. We want to be what we want to be. Now watch this. Probably Danny Moore's. It's easy. It's easy. Right? The Badani people. Right? The encyclopedia of people. The Moors fell into several groups. Two are the largest are the Hassani, the Hassanai, the Hassanai, the Hassanai and the Zawaya and the Badani. Okay, so let's go back. This ain't look, I don't need that. Okay, where is it at? The Badani Moors. I'm gonna do a special on this as well. Okay, here it is right here, Biden Moore. Now, Biden Moore literally means like Joe Biden. It means white Moors. Why would somebody construct a word, a name, white Moor? Why would they do that? If Moor meant black, it is impossible for you to be white and a Moor because you would just be a white black. And if you are just black, according to the one chart rule, you're just black. You're not no black white mix. You would just be mixed. A white Moor is hinting at the fact that Moor does not mean black. Tariq Nasheed is sitting out there confusing y'all. There's also a term called blackamoor. Let's look that up. There's no need in calling somebody a black or more. So this is where your leadership is taking you, following people like Tariq Nasheed. So-called blackamoors or black Moors were black servants. So they were black back then. Every time you're black, you're a servant. They equivalent black with servile, with being a civilian. So no need to call it a blackamoors if Moor mean black. No need to have a white Moors if Moors mean black. Do any of you people comprehend? If you don't comprehend, this is your chance right here. Other than that, I'm ending the video. I appreciate all of y'all who seen the video, who might seen it. I make it too plain. I make this too easy. Tariq Nasheed don't know what he's talking about. He's sneaking that black in because it's in the U.S. Constitution. Blacks are minorities. That's a name given to slaves in this system. So you can never share a system with these people because you're a color. You're not a real entity. You're something that they made up. A black, you're never getting reparations. I'm doing that video next. 100% proof black people will never get reparations. No slave will ever get reparations. Video dropping ASAP. This is debatable, and I'm going to hit up brother Sabir Bey to help me promote it. I'm going to hit him up, and hopefully I will be the first brother on the Knowledge Versus to debate Tariq Nasheed. No black is getting reparations because blacks are slaves. Slaves don't get reparations based off the U.S. Constitution. It's a waste of time. Tariq wants you to stay black because it's nothing but a distraction. It is not the last name of where you come from. That's all you got coming is what you inherit, my people. Now, Moorish Americans, we inheriting something. We know what we inheriting, and it ain't for everybody. It's not for everybody. So we're not asking you to sit up there and just be something. We asking you to research. Other than that, I did my best to wake y'all up for the day. I hope y'all get it and got it. Share this video. Tell them all that I want to debate them. It's not one of them I don't want to debate. I feel like, what is the problem? You have a gay congressman, Marcel Dixon, running for gay office, LGBTQ office, but you don't want to debate me. Tariq Nasheed want to promote an openly gay man, Marcel Dixon, but I don't get a chance to have a voice. That is not fair. I deserve a voice. I deserve to be able to speak my piece and debate Tariq Nasheed. There's no reparations ever coming. It's nothing but a distraction. Your best bet is to save yourself because these black people are TV people. They will do anything for $1 to waste your time. All they want to do is make sure you don't have independent claims, individual claims. Going to claims court, claiming stuff because you know your land got taken illegally. If your people come from Georgia and Mississippi and Alabama, 9 times out of 10, your land was taken from you. You got real claims, not no color code, color of law claims. It's a waste of time. It's an illusion. It's Hollywood. Anything that deal with black is Hollywood. Anything that got something to do with a color is Hollywood. It's an illusion. It's your last name. Go and connect your last name. If you really was enslaved, they have a program for traumatic people who was human trafficked. I guarantee you, I can help you get a check every month before Tariq Nasheed ever gets you reparations, because people who was human trafficked, they get checks. If you got 100% proof you was human trafficked or sex trafficked, the government giving you $1,000 a month. 100% proof I got. Other than that, you got nothing coming. Black people is a waste of time. They represent deviant culture. Tariq Nasheed is a separatist trying to create some, some nonsense in America that's un-American. We must point them out because we look like them people. All they're going to do is put us all under the same boat of these people who just make excuses. All they do is make excuses. They don't strategize. They don't do ground roots movement without entertainment involved. All they do is joke around and twerk. If they ain't joking around and twerking, they scamming. That's all they do, man. And they need to get exposed. Other than that, I'm out. Peace out.